Happy Monday. Welcome back to the Monday Duo podcast.
Happy Monday.
Today, Magda is going to take us back to human design and will tell us more about this tool. Magda, what is on the menu today?
Today is all about authority. So in human design, authority is all about making decision. How to make decisions that are individually correct and make the most benefit for it.
I think a couple weeks ago we did the change episode, and I think this connects really well because when change happens, once we sort out our emotions, then it's always about, okay, what do we need to do next steps? What are the decisions that we need to make? What are the actions that we need to make? So maybe you can refer back to the change episode to think about the actions and come back to this episode and think about what are the things that you can help you to make decision and how maybe your human design can assist that as well. Is that correct, what I'm thinking?
Yes, authority do help us a lot on a daily basis, but the most important part is like the making crucial decisions from your life, like really important one. It's so good to have this knowledge and to follow the simple rules to make your decision feel much more comfortable and much easier.
So for our audience who doesn't know where to find their authority in human design, where is it located?
So you need to see it's next to the border graph. So the border graph is an image of you, but every free version, the version that you have in the link under the episode. So in the link you can click and put your date and hour and place of your birth, and there is a border graph come, the image of you. Next to it, there is an info that authority, and there is a name of your authority. So in general, it comes from the body graph. So me as an analyst see when I see your body graph, I know which authority you are. But to make it easier, because it's really a technical thing, the authority is marked next to the body graph. So you will say the word authority, and you will see one of the seven authority there.
So if you don't have your body graph just yet, you should go back to the very first
Episode about
episode
human design.
of
Yeah.
human design, and then you'll find the link there to enter your date of birth, time of birth. So you will get your first body graph, and then you'll see the authority as well. But we will also put it in the bio. So make sure that you go ahead and get your human design graph.
Yes, and if you want to know more about types, we have another episode of that. And right now it will be all about authorities. So when I found about my authority, I had to say about it because it changed my life completely. I thought I was making my decisions correctly. But when I found which authority I am, it changed everything because it gave us a simple rules how we need to follow. And you will see someone the huge difference between the authorities and someone sometimes the small one between each other, and that's the huge information. Human design wants us to follow this authority on a daily basis, so not only in the crucial decision for your life, really important one, but on a daily basis. So no matter if you want to pick what you want to eat for breakfast or you want to make a crucial decision for your life, it's important to use your authority. As always said, is a training muscle. So when you go to the gym, you train muscles and they become stronger and stronger and give you more support. And the same with the authority. So whenever you are making decision, try to use that simple rules to follow, and your muscle of the authority will train and give you smooth and nice answers, and it will help you in your daily life. So that's the
Okay,
information about the authority.
now I am ready. So let's start. What other authorities do we have in human design?
Okay, so in human design, we have seven different authorities. So the first one is solar plexus authority, the emotional authority. The second one is sacral authority. The third one is splenic authority. Then we have the heart authority, the self projected authority, environmental authority, and lunar authority. So there are seven authorities, and the first three are the most common, and the lunar authority for reflectors. So we will dive into it soon.
So how do we start once we learn about what authority we are?
So, step by step, authority by authority. First, authority, the most popular authority, because more than 50% of the planet has this authority, is solar plexus emotional authority. If you have this authority, you are designed to wait out your emotional wave before you make decision. Best is to avoid decisions based on your high points and on your low points. So whenever you are feeling super excited about the thing or not excited at all, you need to wait that wave, the emotional wave will goes like this and make
Mm.
decisions in the point that is neutral as much as it can be. So if you are a person with emotional authority, for you there is no truth in now, and the truth reveals itself over time. So what you need to practice is patience. Time is a key for you. The more time is better. So for persons with emotional authorities, they cannot make decisions right now. They need to wait, and that's the most important thing for this authority.
I like that. I feel like everybody is emotional authority, but you did say 50% of us are
Yes.
in this
50% of
category.
the planet are this authority. So
So
is
we all
this is the
should be have
most
patience.
common. Yeah.
Yes, so we should all have patience while making a
Yes. For
decision, which is
ourselves
great.
and for our making decision process.
I'm
That's
sure
true.
probably I'm a emotional authority. So what's next?
The next is sacral authority. And here's the first huge difference between authorities, because this authority works immediately after you ask to commit to something or to ask to do something. You know it right away. So the answer is yes or no, or there is, so you simply need to follow that and without any hesitation. But if the answer, so you feel something in yourself that is more like that means that you don't know right now, and you should ask a person who is asking you to commit to do something, ask me again later, or ask me in a different way, because that means that the answer is not ready to reveal, or you or somebody ask you a question in that way that your authority don't understand that, so the authority doesn't know how to respond. So the answer, as I said, is yes, no, or and truth show itself in a present time for you, not, as I said in the previous authority, it waits through the time, but here is the first difference, it's in the present time.
So the two are complete opposite, right? These two.
Yes. And another one is a little bit closer to the sacral authority. So it's another opposite authority to the emotional authority. This authority is splenic authority. And this authority requires deep on a level of attention to many subtle things and ability to act if necessary and correct no matter the consequences. The authority, I can say, it speaks softly and does not repeat itself. So you are not aware of the future, and it's no matter if it's 10 minutes, 1 hour, or a day, it needs to be the question and then answer. So the decisions for this authority need to be made exactly at this moment. So really, when somebody asks you a question or asks you to commit to something, you need to make decision right away, because this authority doesn't wait. And if you wait even a little bit, the informations on the answer will disappear and you will not know how to act.
What is next? Is it Luna, right?
Yes, so every reflector, if you are a reflector, you are for sure you have lunar authority. So before making decision, especially really important decisions, reflector needs to spend at least one lunar cycle contemplating and discussing issue that they want to decide on. If
One
they
lunar cycle meaning
28 days.
30, 28 days. Ah, okay. I
Yes,
see.
so that's a lot.
Wow, it's very long time.
Yes, it's very long time. If they rely on this lunar authority, they can achieve clarity in their decision-making process and will have this act of surprise that they like in your life, in their life. And if they do not honor that lunar cycle, they may suffer disappointment, which is their not self-esteem. So it's important to pay attention to the environment as reflectors mirror the environment. And waiting at least one lunar cycle is really, really important for reflectors. And as I said in the previous episode, for other types like generators, projectors, manifestors, it's really hard to understand reflectors because they are so unique. So maybe if you are watching and you are one of this three energy type, it will be like how they should make decision after 28 days. That's crazy. Yeah, it's hard to understand, but reflectors will resonate with that information so much.
But there's only the 1% rare reflectors,
Yes,
right?
yes, only
Yeah, I
even
listen and
level
I
less than
remember.
1%. Yeah, that's great, you
Okay.
remember. I need
Yes.
to make you a test about human design. You will be
Yeah,
great at
me.
it.
I know. Okay, so what's left?
So what's left is hard authority, self-projected authority, and environmental authority. These authorities are less common and unfortunately cannot be explained in general terms like all the others. For example, there are two different types of hard authority, and which type you are depends on the things that are on your body graph. So you need especially knowledge to know which type of it of hard authority you are. So if you have one of these three authorities, so hard authority, self-projected authority, or environmental authority, you will need one-on-one sessions to understand it fully because it didn't have like a general description for that.
So now our audience would have already know what their authorities are, and maybe even perhaps for their friends and family too.
Yes, it's really important to know which authority you are, and which authorities are around you. Because as you said in a previous question, it's now you understand how the world is going. Sometimes people with emotional authority, like they need to wait to make decision. They don't understand how people can make decision right now or need to make decision right now. So now you understand everybody is different. And as I said, more than 50% of our planet need to wait for that decision. And other types, as a sacral or splenic, needs to do it right away. So if you have like a partner who is a different authority in your home or some close friends, right now you understand how you are different and how to like work on that, because especially in like partner things like husband and wife, when you have different authorities, it's hard to make decisions, uh, especially like long-term decisions, that affect both of you. So if you have like separated authorities, like one of the person have emotional authority and one of the person have splenic authority, it's nice to have talks about that, how you feel about it, that I need to wait to make decisions and you need to make decisions right now. Not to be angry at each other that you cannot pursue your partner to make decisions as you like it. It
I
cannot
like
be
that because next
changed.
time when people go on speed dating, the first thing is like, okay, this is my type and this is my authority. There
It
you
will
go.
be easier. You know that in human design there is no ideal way of building relationship. So it doesn't matter if your body graphs matches or if they are completely different. There is like no one rule. It's all about knowing each other and try to understand what the other person needs in human design, or what are the things that they cannot change, because we often fight for things that we cannot change, and human design is a perfect tool to work with that. I work with couples when I ask them what is the most difficult thing you argue about, and I try to give them the idea how to solve that based on their human design. Whenever we are in the relationships, our charts create like the extra chart of our relationship. We can do it as an analyst in a special program. And so we can see the chart of the wife, the chart of the husband, and a chart
Mm.
of this relationship. So we can work on every problem, every situation that we have in this relation and help them to be more healthier, more understandable to each other. And I love that work because we cannot change this thing. We can change our approach to that and our understands of the other person.
So the first date is to exchange human design types and authority, and then the second date is to find a human design specialist like you to work together already. So
Yeah.
then they will be very understandable to each other.
Yes, I can like I
It's a very
always
good date
work with
idea, actually, now thinking about it.
I think like I almost always work with some couples with at least 1 year of relation, but I need to think about working with people, they just met and, just
Yeah.
to inform them of every important thing that they have in
I
the
think so.
human
I think
design.
you could also work with speed dating company. So this is actually a good idea. Then you could help the couple to get to know each other, how they make decisions, what types they are. So like you said, it's not to change them, but how they, work well as a couple, as a team, right?
Yeah, it's
Especially
a
if it's a
team
husband and
building,
wife.
it's a team building not at work, it's a team building in the relationships.
Yeah, I think it works for both work, like we talked about it last
Yes.
time, knowing about your team members, how they make decision, what types they are. But of course, it works with relationship as well.
Yes. But if we had this information, I need to give our audience one more thing to tell. So, what to do with those informations? Because right now you know what your authority is, how you should act, and in I will suggest work on it on a daily basis. So, whenever you need to make a decision, as I said in the beginning of the episode, even small one, what to eat for breakfast, where to go on a date, uh, if you want to go out or not with your friends this day, try to use this authority as a making decision point. So if you are emotional authority, weight your emotional wave and try to make decisions, even the small one. Then when the hard decision will come, it will be easier for you to use this authority and this knowledge to make your decision correctly. And I work with human design for some years, and I remember that it changed my perspective a lot. I try to make every decision based on my authority. And then when I need to have like a huge decision, it's much more easier. Like decision didn't feel so hard as it should be.
Mm. I like that. Now it just gives our audience an extra tool to help them make informed decision, whether it's a small one, whether it's a life-changing decision. I think if anybody is going through change right now, this is definitely a good tool to incorporate into your
Yes.
daily
Yes,
life.
and what I always suggest to my clients is that they can start notes on the phone, and whenever they are making decision, and they see if they make decision based on the authority or against the authority, and just write like simple things, which decision is easier for me to make based on my authority and which is not so easy to make on my authority, to see in which part of your life you use it really natural and in which part of your life you need to work on that, and like really be careful how you make decisions. So then after some weeks of observing this, you can immediately, when you have a decision, maybe for example you easily make decision, private decision based on your authority, but it's hard for you to make business decisions based on your authority. So then whenever the decision in a business they come to you, you just remember, okay, my authority is to act right now, or my authority is need to wait. So you try to act whenever is necessary. And I think it's important to have that knowledge, because we think, oh, I make decisions that way. But when we really focus on that, how we are making decisions, it sometimes might be that you in 60% of the time you make decision correctly, but in 40% of the time you still struggle with that. So just observe, that's the first thing, and then try to incorporate those authority making decision process in every single decision.
Well, I'm glad today I have tools to help me make informed decision, and I hope our audience have got some information as well. But don't worry, this is not the last episode of Human Design. We have more to come, right, Magda?
Yes, I know it's a lot of informations, and the same I'm telling my clients at the session. It's a lot of informations to manage, to think about. But this is why we are making step by step, episode after episode. We are revealing the truth of human design to you step by step. So don't worry, we will come soon. I will prepare something special for next human design episode.
Well, next week we are celebrating Buddha's birthday, which is one of the biggest festival here in Southeast Asia. Now I'm inviting Ernest, who is in this Buddhist journey. He'll be telling us more about what Buddhism is and his mindfulness journey throughout his life.
Yes, so don't forget to subscribe our channel. And right now, like and comment, tell us what you think about this episode. Maybe share with us your authority or your thoughts on your authority. And what next? See you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.